Hello everyone, my name is V from IELTS Speaking. I'm making this video in order to show you how to make the most of my guidelines on speaking test questions, Cambridge 10 Test 1. Shall we start? Well, first, I'd like to spend some time talking about the table of contents. Don't underestimate it. I believe that it can be of great use. Firstly, you can use this table of contents as a complete list of questions. You may not want to jump to my suggested ideas immediately. You want to test yourself. You want to try answering questions by yourself first. So you can use the table of contents. Okay, just answer the questions one by one. And then, another advantage that I want to mention is you can use this table of contents to navigate very easily. What I mean is, I believe that none of you want to go through the materials from the beginning to the end immediately or continuously. You don't have to follow the order. If you're interested in part 2 and you want to deal with part 2 first, okay, just go to part 2 first. So what you have to do is to press the control button and then click on the link. I want to take question number 1 in part 1 as an example. Okay, here we are. Question 1, part 1. Now, let me tell you something about how to learn the new vocabulary in this guideline. Well, actually, there are quite a lot. There are more than 100 new vocabularies here. And all of them are put in red so they stand out. You can catch them easily. Well, actually, I was thinking about keeping the Microsoft Word file type or whether I should convert it into the PDF format. But actually, I prefer the Word format because I can use the footnotes. I'm sorry that in the video you can't see the footnotes, but in reality, if you want to find out the meaning of a word, what you have to do is just to drag the mouse towards the little number next to the word you want to know about. That's it. Okay, and then you can find a lot of information about the word. For example, in addition to the English meaning, obviously, you can also find information about the transcription, how the word is pronounced, the word class, what is a noun or verb, and of course, the Vietnamese translation as well. Well, I think it's necessary to read the English definition, but it's also necessary to find the Vietnamese equivalents of new words, because that allows us to remember the new words more easily and for a longer time. So that's why I also included the Vietnamese translations. Besides, by using the words in phrases like these, I also show you how to use them with the collocations. Next, I want to move on by talking about grammar. As you can see, I use bullet points instead of complete sentences because, once again, this is the guidelines, not complete answers. So I want to remind you that when you put the ideas together, make sure that you put them in complete sentences. Last but not least, let's talk about how to make the most of the ideas in this guidelines. I want to go back to the question, how do you usually spend your weekends and why? Well, as you know, this is just part 1 and you have approximately 30 seconds to answer this question. Now, let's take a look at the ideas that I have prepared for you. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 main points. And each main point is supported with 2 minor points. Obviously, you won't have enough time to include them all in your answer, right? So you have to be very selective. And this is the main point. This is what I'm trying to remind you of when I make this video clip. You have to be very selective when you use the guidelines because there are always more ideas than you need for a question, for an answer. And that's why I have also put down my instruction. For example, to answer question number 1, you should choose 2 out of the 5 types of activities or main points that I have listed below. And for each activity, you state a reason or a benefit to support your ideas or to explain your ideas. Okay, that's it. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. I want to go back to the vocabulary a little bit. Okay, here, the footnotes. I want to talk more about the footnotes. Well, I believe that the footnotes can be very useful because they help us to review the vocabulary. For example, if you want to test yourself, if you want to see if you have remembered a new word, okay, just look at the footnote. Okay, so as you can see, you can find the transcription here. All right, so test yourself whether you can look at the transcription and spell the word correctly. Look at the meaning and you can recall the word correctly. This is a very good way to test yourself or to review the vocabulary. Okay, this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching. And I wish you all the luck and success with your IELTS examination. But don't forget that no pain, no gain. Okay, see you in the next lesson. Toodles!